Hey, everybody, this is Paul Hitchcock. Thanks for jumping on this episode of Giant TV. I am the founder and president of Giant Jacks Media, and we are a company that hacks away at the expense and confusion of growing your business. And this is my weekly live show. I do it every, Tuesday, 1 p.m. California time. It's all about delivering value, giving you tools and strategies you can use to grow your business, stand out, be different, and make it efficient. And really fired up for this topic today. And I just this has been on my mind a lot lately. This has to do with content and getting the right people to see your content because I see so many people on LinkedIn and quite frankly everywhere, but especially on LinkedIn, where they're putting time into content and nobody's seeing it. There's no views, one view. Certainly, they're not their top prospects are seeing it. So this is a condensed version of my regular show where I just want to dive into some tools and strategies that I have used successfully over the years to make sure that the people that I want to see my content on LinkedIn and other places are actually seeing it. So let's cue the intro video.
Billboard, baby, do a leap and make them dance when they come on. Everybody looking for a dance floor to run on.
If you wanna run away with me, I know a galaxy and I can take you for a ride. I had a premonition that we fell into a rhythm where the music don't stop for life. Glitter in the sky, glitter in my eyes, shining just the way you lie. If you're feeling like you need a little bit of company, you met me at the perfect time. You want me, I want you, baby. My sugar boo, I'm levitating. The Milky Way, we're renegading. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, yeah, sorry about that dancing there at the end, but 4 kids, what are you going to do? You do anything for those kids. Okay, so let's jump into this. I'm sharing my screen here, and here's where I want to start. First of all, you always have to when you're growing your business, have your prospect list at the ready. By that I mean have a list, whether you have a written list somewhere or you've got a CRM where you keep your list, wherever it is, you want to always know who your top prospects are, because when you do that, then you can really target to them in unique ways. And in my career of building businesses forever, I've always had a microscope on my top prospects, because when I do that, I just am always focused on them. If they're on my mind, I see them. I've always had them on my desk or up on my screen. And I'm just constantly focused on how to get and stay in front of those top prospects. So, identify them. And maybe, if you're building out, let's say you're a Vistage chair. We do a lot of work with Vistage, and you're building out, members for your group. Maybe your prospect list is going to be 10 hot prospects or 15 or 4, whatever your pipeline looks like. Have those people you can put your finger on at any moment. Maybe you have a ton more prospects. Maybe you've got 50 or 60 or 100, whatever they are. Keep those people handy and just stay focused on them. Okay, so here's where we get into the content piece. And obviously, you got to have a content strategy, and it really, with the right content, builds you up as an authority. You are the squeaky wheel that gets the grease, as my mom used to always say when we were kids. Be that squeaky wheel that gets the grease. Speak, stand up, speak out, and your content strategy has got to be focused, targeted to an audience, and certainly it's got to be your own content. So there's a whole discussion about content strategy and how you deliver content. So I'm not going to go into all of that here, but when it comes to content, you want it to be your own original product. What I see a lot of people doing is they are sharing other people's content on the platform. Here's a top 10 list. Here's Warren Buffett's thing. Here's Richard Branson's. Here's Inc. magazine, whatever it is. Not that that content is bad, but it's just other people's content. It doesn't do anything for building you up as the authority figure. and someone that somebody else wants to talk to, if I'm interested in learning more about you and certainly buying your product or service, I don't give a crap what Richard Branson's doing or what this article in Inc. magazine is about. And that's what everybody's doing, is they're sharing other people's content. It's getting no views. It doesn't do anything for your personal brand. And so create your own product. And I love video. And I think we all know at this point that video is king. Video just leads to more conversions than everything. Open rates for emails, people listening to your video about your product, service, or your story, whatever it is. And so video is really where your focus should be. All the platforms are pushing video. Certainly LinkedIn is, with stories and native video and all of that, and everywhere. So your content needs to be original. And people always ask me, where do I get ideas for content? And some people have just a million ideas flowing around in their head, and they have no problem coming up with content. Others, have to search. And so what I tell people is there's never a lack of topics if you're putting together content. There's so many sources for trending topics. Channels like Flipboard, which is a free RSS feed news magazine. You can tailor it to the topics you want to follow, and you have plenty of content there to get inspiration. I have all these discussions all the time, and you want to put yourself in the shoes of who you're reaching out to. What do they care about? What are their obstacles, their opportunities, challenges, all those things, and address those. Solutions-based content is great, and teach and educate. So creating killer piece of content is where you got to start out. Okay, so now you have your top prospects that you've identified. You've had those people saved. Now you have a killer piece of content, video. So here's one of the tools where I make sure my top prospects actually see my content. And so I post and tag. And by that I mean, if it's a video, you manually upload that video so it auto plays on LinkedIn. And then what you strategically do is, my system is I'll post a video, and then in the summary section of the video, I'll have over here, as I'm doing my video on LinkedIn, I'll have over here my list of prospects. I'll say, okay, let me take 2 or 3 of my top hot A-listers, and I'll write a summary for that video. So a very strategic summary with calls to action in there. And then in the summary on LinkedIn, I will tag, @ these hot prospects. And what will happen then is they will get an alert that they were mentioned in this post. And you can also tag somebody in the comments. So you can go in, of course, and comment on your own post and then tag somebody there. Nothing wrong with that. The difference is that if you tag somebody in the comment section, where you comment and tag them, then LinkedIn makes it very easy for those people to just reply with, emoji or something. LinkedIn throws up emojis or whatever, and you can just comment right there. And when that happens, that activity of you mentioning them commenting on your post does not get pulled in to their news feed and their activity. Whereas if you mention them in a summary, they've actually got to go post a comment if they're going to respond. Hey, thanks. Hey, great to be mentioned. Great post you put out there. They have actually got to go comment on it. And when they do that, their activity is pulled into their news feed. So now you get more organic reach with this engagement with this hot prospect, because now your post is pulled over into their news feed. So it's pretty cool to understand the difference there. And of course, the strategy behind it is that the content you're putting out is targeted for your audience. Your hot prospect is your audience. And so when you tag them on this post, it's not some just, lame post that has nothing to do with them. It ties into them, and it may be something that's really hot for them. So they're going to be inspired to interact with your post. And uh, obviously the get alerted is they're going to get alerted that they were mentioned. Human nature takes over when all of us get an alert. Hey, you were mentioned in a comment. What are you going to do? You're going to say, what's going on over here? You want to go check it out. So this is a great strategy. Post and tag, keep organized. And as your content is going out, strategically tag those hot prospects. Okay, LinkedIn Stories. Not a lot of people are using Stories. Fairly new feature on LinkedIn, and I when it came out, jumped on it, testing different things. LinkedIn is upgraded a bit, and they've got a laser focus on stories. And I think I'm hearing whispers and things that they're going to keep doing more and more with stories. But it's a great feature already, and I'm starting to get more and more traction as I'm using it. And here's what I do when it comes to content. So I'll walk you through this a little bit. So you can build this task into your daily routine, and it's not a time-sucking thing. So what you do is you you can record a video in the morning. So let's say you have a piece of content, a longer piece of content, and it's maybe like a 2-minute video you're posting on LinkedIn, something like that. Stories is 20 seconds, right? You have 20 seconds to get a piece of content out, video on stories. And so you can't put your 2 minute there. So what you do is you have this great post that goes out, your video on LinkedIn. You posted it, you've tagged hot prospects, so it's in there. Now you go to stories, and you, on your camera, on your phone, you shoot a video and you hype up this post you just did. And you say, hey, I just, something like, I just put out this great post. It's getting some great traction on, you know, email nurture, whatever it is. Really want you to check it out. So you record that on your cell phone camera. Now you upload that right on your mobile phone to a mobile video editing app called InShot. InShot. It's free. You can pay to get upgraded, but it's free. You just load it right over there. You can edit it. And really, when you get used to that, it takes you literally 45 seconds to edit that puppy. And you can put music in there. You can cut it, crop it, add text, whatever. So you make a tight little video with InShot, save that on your mobile. Now you go to your post on mobile. So just go to your LinkedIn on your mobile app, find the post you just did on that longer video, and you copy the link to it, right? So you can click the 3 dots, copy the link. Now you go to stories on your mobile phone, LinkedIn stories, and you then upload this InShot video. It's saved on your phone that you just recorded, and it then loads up in a matter of seconds. Now you have this killer little 15-second, 20-second video hyping your post, and it's got music in it, all this stuff. And you can shoot it wherever you are, at your desk. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be professional. Just shoot it. And then you upload that video, and you can embed the link to the post you did inside this LinkedIn story video. And you mention it. Hey, I have this great video. Swipe up to check it out. I just posted it. Great interaction. Embed the link. And now when your story posts, your link will be there. It'll say see more. You're mentioning it. Everybody who checks out your story will see it. They just click on it, and it'll take them to your main LinkedIn post where you have a great piece of longer content. So now you have the story you posted. Now you can share that story in a DM to your first level connections in stories. Remember, stories is just for your first level connections. So now you take another few hot prospects and you send your LinkedIn story to maybe 2 or 3 more hot prospects, or 4 or 5. And it's a DM. And so it goes to them, they get it, and they check out your story. So they see this killer little story you have with a see more to this great piece of content you have on LinkedIn, and That's how you can use stories. This all sounds like, dude, sounds like it takes an hour to get this done. It doesn't. Okay, if you get this down and you have all these pieces lined up, figure it out, then really from start to finish, I mean, you're talking about less than 5 minutes to do this, to shoot it, edit it, bang it out, copy the link, boom, done. I mean, literally 5 minutes. So make this part of your day. So this is how you can use LinkedIn stories. Okay. Sales Navigator lead list. So if you don't have Sales Navigator, it's a great tool. We all should have it. Phenomenal. Obviously different interface from LinkedIn, toggle back and forth. But here's what I counsel all the people I'm working with is to save your hot prospects in a lead list in Sales Navigator. So a lead list in Sales Navigator is different from a saved search list in some important ways. So the lead list is when you save somebody as a lead. It can be a first or second level connection. You save them as a lead. Sales Navigator on the home tab will start feeding you information on those leads. If they're posting, whatever's going on with them, you're getting information fed to you from a lead list. That's not the case with a search list. You got to make them a lead. And LinkedIn, not too long ago, increased the amount of leads you can save. It used to be, I think, 1,200. Now I think it's 10,000 or something. I mean, they just upped it massively. So you save them in a lead list you create called hot prospects. And now you can engage with these people, and the home tab makes it very easy for you to engage and comment on what they're posting, so you're engaging, and you can copy the link to the post you just said. Hey, I love the content you're sharing, it's great, really love it, and I just put out this my own post on something I thought you might be interested in, and you comment on their post, and you mention them in their own post, and they're going to see that conversation, and again, you're referencing back to your post, strategically doing that. So it's another phenomenal way to engage with your top prospects. Sales Navigator lead list. Okay, so LinkedIn events. Here's another great way to do it. So let's say you have a great piece of content you put out, and it's a longer video. So one of the things that I do with clients I'm working with is you got to have a virtual event strategy. So you got to have a virtual event, where you're putting out an event is, on Zoom, or if you have LinkedIn Live, even better. But it's a virtual event to build authority and engage with top prospects. And you do this at least every 60 days to start out with, so you can market it and just get into the process of it. But what you do is you set up, as an example, you're doing let's say you're interviewing. I was talking to somebody today, and they have a show where they're interviewing other leaders in their targeted niche of prospects. They find leaders in the businesses they want to work with, and they bring them onto their show and they interview them. And it's longer, 20 minutes, 25 minutes. So this is a great virtual event. Now, what we do is we create a LinkedIn event. We all have the LinkedIn event feature, and we can record, or do it live, but we can record that interview that this coach does with these business leaders. Record it, edit it, brand it, so now you have a nice piece of content. Let's say it's 20 minutes long, and now what you do is you make this a LinkedIn event, and it's a live stream event, so that people are coming to the LinkedIn event, and it's either live or you're live streaming it because you've already recorded it, and you are inviting, with the LinkedIn event feature, your first level connections. So you can invite first level connections. And again, who your top prospects are. Remember the list, you have that. So you're inviting those top prospects you're connected to your LinkedIn event. And when you do that, it pulls them in and you see who they are, they express interest, they're right there. And so now you run the event. And what you can do is if you're posting the, if you have the event, they're attending it, Zoom event, whatever it is, then after the event's done, you take the recorded video and you post it in the LinkedIn event portal there, and you can then recommend that post to everybody that expressed interest. Since people are going to express interest, they're going to be pulled into the LinkedIn event portal. They may not attend your event. People are people. They may flake and not show up. Something happens. Who knows what? But doesn't matter. It's okay if not everyone shows up to your event, because what you're going to do is you're going to get the content out to them anyway. So you're going to post the recorded video from your event. It's 20-minute video, and you're going to post it in the LinkedIn event and then recommend it. When you post a piece of content, you can click three dots in the event, you can recommend it, and LinkedIn will send an alert to everybody that was pulled into your LinkedIn event that you posted in the event. So there's another alert they're going to get, which again is another way to notify your top prospects that you have stuff going on. Uh, so it's a really good tool, the LinkedIn event feature, and there's so much to talk about with that. Again, that's a separate discussion, but I'm giving you thoughts and ideas here for you to take some nuggets away. Okay, email nurture. So another way to get in front of your top prospects. So everybody's got to have an email gathering process with their business when you're growing and building your business and even sustaining your business. You got to collect emails along the way, and there's very specific ways to do that with landing pages, virtual events, so on and so forth. You gather emails along the way. Get the emails into your distribution platform. I love Constant Contact, and so we set everybody up with that platform, and we collect the emails for them. But whatever's happening, you got to collect emails, get them into your distribution platform, and now you are nurturing these people with high value content. And guess what your content is? Your high value content, your videos, whether it's a short snack size video you're doing or it's the longer interviews, you're nurturing them. And so your top prospects are in there. So they're getting these email nurtures from you over time. And you do it right, you set that email up right, with subject lines and content, then they're going to open the emails, they're going to click through and so forth. Again, I sound like I'm beating a dead horse here, but that's a whole nother discussion. Email, how do you construct a proper email so that people actually read it, and what's the strategy behind how often you send it out and so forth. That's a whole deal. See, I've got a really great PDF. uh, and maybe I'll send that out as a follow-up to this, include it in my post, a PDF on building email and the do's and don'ts and what works. So you got that. And LinkedIn group. So LinkedIn group, great idea. Start a private LinkedIn group. You can make it public, but private has a little bit more cachet to it, and invite along the way your top prospects to your LinkedIn group, right? So if you set your LinkedIn group up properly, it looks great. It's private. It's exclusive. You can customize it with banners, logos, summary, and all that. So then you can invite people to join the group, and the more A-level prospects you can get in there, then you can post your content. Again, the same video, same content, because you're trying to reach these people wherever you can. You're posting in the group, and as a member of the group, they're getting alerts on stuff that's showing up in the group. And it just is another very good channel, because you're reaching out on LinkedIn, you're connecting on LinkedIn. This group is on LinkedIn. You're not taking anybody off the platform. It's all right there in the ecosystem. And you can use LinkedIn groups strategically and even get some interaction going with other people, allowing them to post and so forth. So LinkedIn group is another way to get content in front of the people you want to work with, your A-listers. So my point in all of this is, again, may sound like I'm speaking from a fire hose here. There's a lot to know, but when you really look at this and get organized and get efficient, then it just becomes part of your weekly, you know, tasks that you do. And there's small little things you do along the way. Remember, the small little tasks lead to big outcomes. We all know that. You do these small things every day and big things happen. And so as I've done this over time, where I just block out every morning an hour and I just set up my day so that I can move on and do other things. But during that hour, I just am insane about doing these boom, 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 these tasks, edit the video, and I get it all done, and my stuff goes out, and I know I'm touching prospects. They're hearing from me every single day. So I hope this helps. I always say, if you ever have any questions, reach out to me. I love always helping, giving out value, getting on one-on-one strategy session. Happy to do it all. So thanks, and have a great rest of your day.